People who do 30 miles per hour on an on-ramp to a highway where the speed limit is 65 miles per hour. Why do you do this? Because I'm a fucking idiot. At least you're honest, smiley face. Honest isn't the word I'd use. I see you've followed my mother-in-law onto the freeway. She gets on the on-ramp, sees a car on the freeway, a half-mile back or so, and panics and hits the brakes. Seriously, I don't know how she hasn't caused a wreck or 12 by now. My mother-in-law stopped on the freeway once to look at a map. Christ. I feel like the answer is that a lot of poor drivers assume that in all situations slower equals safer, when really not. Merging at similar speeds to the roadway being entered is incredibly dangerous. When I took driver's education, they specifically mentioned things like merging at speed, but I don't know if that's the same for everyone. The exact same people who believe the only response to any unexpected event is to stand on their brakes as hard as possible and come to a complete stop in the middle of the road. My dad does this, and I asked him why he does it. Straight up, I want to get good gas mileage, and you don't get good mileage by accelerating hard, so there is one old man's answers. I assume they have a birthday cake in the car and don't want to muss the frosting. That's a much brighter perspective than most of us have of these people. Next time you want to flip somebody off on the road, give them a thumbs down instead. It's the "I'm not angry, I'm disappointed" of driving. It changes your frame of reference from rage at how fucking dumb that guy was to an honest piece of feedback on their maneuver. Merging into traffic is scary, so you gotta make sure the speed differential between you and the traffic is as high as humanly possible. This validates the belief that merging into traffic is scary, so you better go even slower next time. Oh wow, those cars are going awfully fast. I better stop on the on-ramp until there aren't any more cars. That's the smartest and safest option. Because it's illegal to pass on the shoulder, and an idiot is doing 30 mph in front of me. Alternately, I know the guy in front of me is going 60 now, but he was going 30 for most of the ramp, and my car does not accelerate as quickly as his. I hang way back the first half of the ramp so I have room to get up to speed even if the idiot in front of me won't. This is a necessary strategy in Michigan, and most places. My local section of highway has an on-ramp that turns into a quarter-mile exit lane for the next exit. A lot of people get on the highway with the intention of taking the next exit, and simply stay in the lane, never getting up to highway speed because they're getting back off a quarter-mile up the road. This is always infuriating because I never take that exit, and am forced to sit behind them while they cruise at 45 miles per hour up to their exit while I'm trying to merge left with cars flying by at 70 miles per hour. I see people do this all the time in Dallas. They're white-knuckling it because they shouldn't be on the freeway in the first place, but think they're smart because they're passing two lights on the feeder and exit half a mile down. I'm in the heart medication business. Just trying to create conditions that will lead to new clients, i.e. those behind me. Taking one for the team, I see. Me too. I work in proctology. DC has speed cameras on the entrances and exits to 395. Ramp speed limit as 35, interstate as 55. Needless to say, people get hit a lot by these cameras and it makes merging, often from left exits, a nightmare. Sounds like yet another reason to avoid DC. Based on my experience in DC, I'm surprised anyone is ever able to drive above 35 anyway because of the traffic. Lots of people have poor spatial recognition while driving. Lots of people also should have been taken off the road a decade ago. Spatial, or special. This Mirage's double-digit horsepower won't give me any more. Even the teeniest of little cars have enough get up and go to merger properly, even on clover leafs, if the driver is paying attention. Not classic cars. My MG takes over a quarter mile to reach 60 from a standstill. I had a lady tell me once that she takes it slow and easy with on ramps because professionals say it saves gas. She didn't understand my logic when I told her that when she does this, she causes accidents and traffic jams. Thus she may save a few drops, but overall she fucks everything up. The infuriating part being that it does not save gas. Because they have a death wish. To anyone who does this, don't merge into the highway doing residential road speed. You're causing so many problems for everyone around you and it's dangerous. If you're going to go that damn slow, stay on the feeder. Follow-up PSA, and this may come as a bit of a shock to some of you, but the far left lane on the interstate is not your personal highway. If you aren't actively passing cars, you shouldn't be in it at all, let alone camped over there, oblivious to the world around you. In the UK we call these slip roads. I drive a lot in my job and people who do this are usually being cautious and looking to avoid collisions, but in reality it is bloody dangerous and increasing the chance of a very serious accident. In the highway code it explicitly says check the traffic on the motorway and match your speed to fit safely into the traffic flow in the left-hand lane, so the speed of your vehicle and the vehicles on the carriageway need to be matched. It's not rocket science, the danger comes from differing speeds. If the cars are moving at 70, crawling in at 30 puts you, the fast-moving vehicles on the carriageway, and the drivers behind you being forced to drive at your speed, at far greater risk than is necessary. My stepmom actually got a ticket for doing 45 in a 55 mph zone. She was going onto I-96 eastbound for 1 mile and didn't feel like accelerating for just 1 mile. So, the cop gave her a ticket for impeding traffic. She's probably slowly merging into traffic somewhere right now. If you see her, wave hi to her. I'm glad to hear cops actually ticket people for going too slow. Now if only they'd give more tickets to people who sit in the left lane because they feel like it. Also, people who drive at dusk or during rainstorms without headlights on, why? Is this the curve on the ramp or the straightaway? If it's the curve, it's because I don't want to slide into the ditch. If it's the straightaway, I'm stomping on the gas. I understand on a curved one. But for straight ones, then you just cause traffic jams. I think there should be a special hell for those assholes who decide to move into the far right lane at the exact spot where oncoming cars are trying to merge in. You check over your left shoulder and see a nice gap to move in, then all of a sudden, nope, some dumbass decides that's the time to move into the slow lane. Why? Seriously, fuck those people. This is infuriatingly common in Illinois for some reason. People here just don't fucking accelerate until they're on the highway, never before. Never saw this occurrence with this much frequency until I moved here. The ramp is for accelerating up to highway speed, damn it. Every state has the worst drivers anywhere. And they're all from other states. For the same reason I have to slow down early and make people angry when exiting, my town simply doesn't make the on and off ramps nearly as long as they need to be for my shitty 4-cylinder to get up to safe merging speed, or down to safe exiting speed. There's accidents all the time because of this. Are these the same people that do 50 in a 65, until you attempt to pass them, and then they go as fast as necessary to prevent you from passing them? Until you concede and get back behind them, where they gradually slow back down towards 50 miles per hour? The worst is when they flip you off or honk, throw hands up etc. when you have the nerve to not slam on your brakes to let them merge. Keep up or shut up. My car has crappy acceleration and the on-ramps in my city are way too short. I'm trying. I hate short ramps. Where I'm living the ramps are at most 30 meters long and 90% of the time you come to a complete stop before you can merge. You basically drive towards them already anticipating a full stop. It's a big mess, but I got used to it quickly. Then again, the legal speed limit on this island is 60 kilometers per hour, approximately 37 miles per hour. I was at the DMV and saw two people holding a very frail old man up, one on each arm, to the Viewmaster style eye test so he could get his license. I have another part to this. People who have the entire highway to yourself and you see a car merging as fast as it can, why do you refuse to get over? I understand if you can't get over because of other vehicles, but not when the other lane is clear. All bad driving boils down to a combination of incompetence, obliviousness, and narcissism. The person in front of me has neglected the rightmost pedal. What is it with Toyota Prius or any Subaru driver that generally seem to be self-designated highway speed monitors, leading parades of frustrated drivers in the passing lane? I am always stuck passing on the right and I give them a glance as they are driving along oblivious. I loathe those people. I recently got a new car, but before that my car, 02 Honda Accord, physically couldn't speed up fast enough to get above approximately 50 until I was already on the highway. This is my answer. I'm flooring it while sending silent apologies to those poor souls trapped behind me. I mean, you could live in my part of PA where we have stop signs at the end of an on-ramp, you know, right at the merge point, smh. That wasn't even about merging. The red car just didn't know what fucking lane he was in. I feel like the real reason for a lot of people are suggested speed signs on ramps. They don't notice the sign doesn't say maximum and don't remember back to driving school where they would have been told those were mainly for semi-trucks. So they think there's this speed limit while on the ramp and they can't speed up until they actually get on the highway. I find the same thing on off-ramps for highways. A lot of people slam the brakes on when they reach the suggested speed sign rather than allowing the car to slow by just taking their foot off the accelerator. You might be onto something here. I've always wanted those speed radar signs that say slow down. If you're going too fast, put it on ramps but program them to say speed up. Also sign that comes on in bumper traffic that says merge here. Because most of the ramps in my area are actually very sharp turns. Some of these rims even have signs stating to go no faster than 15 to 25 miles per hour, including some areas where the highway speed is 70 miles per hour. That's what I'm saying. I've dealt with mostly curved on ramps. It's hard to go fast when you feel like you'll flip your vehicle. A lack of confidence and skill behind the wheel.